Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Dragon Sword. We have a couple of new movements that we started yesterday, and we have a review of what came before. We also have some floor work and some leg work that we're doing. So, let's get started. I am also running really late this morning. I've talked about this repeatedly. I have several things going on, some that are good, some that are not so good. And it seems like everything is just starting to really coalesce. It's good or not, it's happening. And that is both disturbing and exciting, because there's so many things happening. Sometimes I have trouble with it, and for me to have trouble with it, that's a lot. Alright, so on the one hand, the negative things, the not so great things that are happening, I have my daughter's going for surgery tomorrow, and I really hope that it goes well, and that she recovers fully and quickly, and there's not any unexpected long-term complications. It's there. I'm concerned. I'm worried. That's what mothers do. That's my job. And I told her that as well. That's my job. On the more positive side, the result that we're looking for is that some health issues she's had to deal with are no longer going to be something she has to deal with. That would be a good thing. I'm also launching this whole new initiative, this whole new thing, and I don't know how to say it other than to say that it's exciting. So, it's just disturbing, exciting, you pick one. That the opportunity is really exciting. What I'm doing, I'm really excited about. I enjoy what I'm looking at doing. I have fun with it. It's great. It's what I want to do. The difficulties and things that have to get sorted out, they're there. They interfere with my practice. They do. The good stuff interferes a little bit, but not nearly as much as the other things, because it's easier for me to delegate my time for the positive things. It's not as easy for me to delegate my time for the negative things. That is something that is absolutely fundamentally part of practice. How do we manage that? How do we, not me today, but this is how I'm managing it right now. We're gonna do basic stretches here, and then we're gonna be on the floor. So part of my solution to manage it for this class is to acknowledge that it exists. If I don't acknowledge it, I can't do anything about it. I acknowledge that it exists. I acknowledge that it is a distraction. I determine what kind of a distraction it is, right? What is this? Why am I distracted? And then what can I do with that? What can I do about it? Can I stop being distracted by it? Nah, not happening. Can I, what? Focus on my practice, bend the knees, wiggle the toes. To a certain extent, I can. And getting to the point that I can focus on my practice, that I can be here to deliver a presentation and teach class, is something that I have been working at all morning. That recognition, the understanding of myself and how I function to be able to deal with it, and then to make the decision, yes, I'm going to teach, yes, I'm going to do this. What am I going to teach, and how am I going to present this class? How am I going to practice today? I really need to stretch my legs, so that's part of what we're going to do this morning. Hands circle to the front. Back, no, we're going to be on the floor in a minute. Back around to both sides, up along the center line, and reach out. Bend the knees. And again. And roll up through the spine as you come up. Don't lift, roll. And stretch up. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. All right, on floor. Legs crossed, hands just below the knees. Start rocking back and forth. Lean back, pull back as you lean back. Push your legs forward. Open the abs, open through the hips. Keep your shoulders down, don't do this, right? So elbows out to the sides just a little bit. Not a lot, not all the way over here, just a little bit. And rock back, pull yourself forward. And back, and forward. The loosening of the hip and keeping it loose are two different things, all right? So we did several sets to loosen the hips, including this one, and I did a couple more leg stretches, again, loosen up the hips. As I did those, I regained some of the flexibility that I had, still there. My muscles became tight, right? They're supposed to. One more time, lean forward, put the hands down, and sit back. All right, they're supposed to. You do the stretch and they're going to get tight again. That stretching forward as I'm stretching, right? Feet are flexed. Not use my hands right now. So shift back, the same motion through the hip, except that the legs are straight, flat on the floor, and I'm not using my hands. Feet flexed. So pull the toes back to you, push out through the heel. Yeah, it takes a little bit more work. All right, and stretch forward, and then up, reach up, and reach forward. Keep the back as flat as possible. So don't round the back. When we do that basic stretch as we come up, we want the back rounded. Here, no. The back should be as flat as possible. This is through the hip, not through the back. and turn to one side, I'm turned to my right, and turn to the left. And again to the right, and one more time to the left. Alright, bring the right foot in, left foot behind you. As we develop strength, as we develop flexibility, as we develop the skill to move through and with the movements in this form or whatever other form we're working on. Right, and notice that I've got my hand just below the hip and not pushing hard, and I do have weight on this hand. Just roll through the hip, nice and easy. That flexibility and the strength that we develop are something that we want to continue to use. So if you practice really hard one day and the next day you're a little stiff and sore, the best thing to do is to practice lightly so that you're not quite so stiff and sore, and then the following day go back to that little more rigorous practice so that you end up being a little more sore, not quite as much, but a little, and gradually building that so that when you're finished, change legs, when you're finished, no, I'm not going to roll up, when you're finished, that your muscles feel more comfortable than when you started. So the idea isn't, I'm going to go do this workout and now I'm going to have to do something else to relax. No, this is the relaxed part. This is the relaxed part. Right? And in fact, for some kinds of sets and some kinds of practice, it's beneficial to do some stretching after class 2 so that all of the work that was done, I have my right leg out, left leg in, push down on the left, and I've got my ankle here. I want to flex that and pull back to the side. Okay, so I'm not rolling to the front right now, I'm going to the side. So my ear to my knee, just past my knee. Not even close. It's not even close. Alright? Not even close. That goal, I used to be able to do it. I could. And if I pay attention to my stretches, if I sat here on the floor and did stretches for the next 40 minutes or so, I could probably get a whole lot closer than where I am right now. I'm not going to do that. I am going to change legs. So left leg out, right leg in. Something not good there. Alright, bend the knee. Alright, as I put my leg in that position, I'm still having a little trouble right in through here with that stretch. So just behind the knee, I should know what this is. The tendon that runs just to the outside of the knee and then tucks up in to the bone of the upper leg and extends into the hip all the way up. Yeah, there, it's better, but I can't lean into it really. I just leaning into it, not yet. Maybe in a minute. Finding that point of tension, finding what muscle is What am I paying attention to? Why am I paying attention to it? I just loosened the muscle in the hip. That was that roll forward. That's what I did. That process of acknowledging where there's tension, recognizing which muscle is, where is it? It's not over here. It's not here. It's not down, it's here. Right? As I extend the leg, am I paying attention? No, I'm not paying attention down here. I'm paying attention to this. Stretch through the muscle, wrap into the bone, and extend it slowly, so that instead of trying to stretch, which is bad for you, don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Instead of trying to immediately, let me go to this stretch. Say, well, wait a minute, this is a little bit tense. I need to work my way into that. The more facility we have, and I'm still working that particular group of muscles in the hip, small muscles in the hip, and this muscle tendon combination that extends into the hip from the upper thigh. So it's little muscles at the upper thigh. Yeah, they're kind of a problem right now. Okay? That recognition, knowing what I'm doing, knowing where they are, knowing what am I paying attention to, and is fundamental for being able to work with any of the movements. Any movement, period. If you don't know how your body moves, how your body works, yeah, I am doing another stretch here. All right, hips as close as you can get them to your feet, hands behind you. I'm going to turn sideways over here so you can see this. Hands behind you, and bring the hands as close as you can to your hip. Push up. Hold. You're not on the ground. Your hip should not be, it can be touching, but your weight is on your feet and your hands. And sit back down. And do it again. Bring your arms in a little closer. Keep the knees together. Push forward. Pull up through your abs. And sit back down. All right. Extend the legs for a second. That strength building exercise, right? Ultimately, what we want is to be in that position without hands, so that we can go up and down without using hands, right? I just push myself up, right? I did. Now, can I, from where I am, right knee is down, left knee is up. Can I get up the rest of the way? I have no momentum to use. I have no previous movement that's going to help me get back up. So, am I strong enough in this position to get up? Nope. I think so. Nope. Almost. It was close. It was close. What did I do? What did I do? I needed to use my abs. I didn't have enough strength to push up on that one leg. I had set my foot behind to help me push up. I leaned forward, threw myself off balance, right? Just because, right? Just because. All right, now, one more time. The direction up, this is forward, right? So if I set my foot behind to help me get up, maybe not so good, because what I need is to push down on this leg through the heel to take my body up. This leg doesn't get to do very much. It's just behind, right? It's just there. And of course I got a cramp in the back of it. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. Closer, closer. What do I still need to work on? This hip and the connection through the ab and the hip on this side into the leg. Those two connections to be able to bring myself up, that's what I need to work on. Now, I'm talking a little bit too much, all right. I had given some new moves in addition to a little bit of review of what we have been doing. All right, so we're here. Each one's just a little bit different. Just a little bit. I'm going to do it again. And pay attention to, just pay attention to all three. What are the differences? What did I do that was the same? What did I do that was different? Stepping method, sword method, placement. If I look back at my notes, old photos, old video, I have this. If I constrain, if I use more of a constrained movement when I turn the sword, so from here to here, right? Here to here. If I do that instead of this, well, it's different. And there is much more of the traditional intent here than here. Okay? That's a nice flourish. And it's functional. Does it carry the intent through the movement? You mostly? Not entirely, but mostly. Here, I'm going this way. It's not as easy, right? Here, I can just drop my wrist and the sword comes around. It's intentional. I've practiced that. Here, I have to pay much more attention to my internal workmanship. And I talked about this yesterday. I said I was going to talk more about it today. Here we are. All right, so from here, that's it. Now, how did I do that? It's not just me turning my wrist, right? There's circle. It does come around. So round and down. Here, slice and slice down. That same. Down, slice down. The difference, how big is the circle? We can think about this a little bit in terms of, and I'm going to go back to lower dantian in just a second. We can think about it in terms of the circle in the lower dantian, that tiny heavenly circle, up the back, around the front. Same as a small heavenly circle that goes all the way up the back and around and back down to lower dantian. The larger heavenly circle, that goes from the heels up and goes back down, all the way through the body, all the way around. That big circle, little circle. Medium-sized circle, right? Which one do I choose? Which one makes the most sense at this particular moment in time? Hang on a second, let me see if this is something I have to pay attention to. I don't think so. Okay. I'm just checking. No, that was something else. All right, so there's a message up there, but it wasn't, I didn't need to pay attention to it. All right, so this, how big the circle? What am I doing? If my goal is, if my intent is that I want to move something out of this area, then bringing this down is a good thing to do. I'm really not so much thinking about that with this move. I could be, but I'm not. In that my focus is to I'm going forward. I'm not, at this point, right, where I need to turn to come out. I'm not focused on what's beside me. I already dealt with that. Right? I'm here, to come up. Did that. Now what? Forward. That pull in. Don't collapse, right? So as you pull in, here, hang on a minute, I was leaning, and here, as this turns over, this pulls in. No. No. Right? That sense that I pull in to extend, that same as I'm going up in order to go down, I'm going to go down in order to go up, I'm going to pull in order to extend. There's a little bit of little fillet going on at the end, right? As we pay attention to what can I do to refine this movement? How can I make it more subtle versus more overt? So in the 3 different sets, I didn't move my foot. I stayed where I was. I didn't move my foot. Oh, I could. I could. Should I have moved my foot? Yeah. Here, here. Now here. Right? So I have a step here, and then I have another step where this comes up, turn it over, and extend in. That advance forward idea, right? If I'm not thinking advance forward, if I'm thinking, here's my opponent, he slice, I might do that. The combinations that the forms give us also give us these options. And that's what we're paying attention to. I could do it this way, I could do it this way. Which is the orthodox way? Which is the best way? Well, the best way is the one that I'm practicing, that I'm doing correctly. The orthodox way is what I want to practice. Yeah, I'm not wrong. I like the flourish. That sense of, and that's part of, it is part of my long ramble at the beginning of the class, it's part of my ramble now, we're going to go through this one more time. What do I like? What do I not like? If I don't like what I'm doing, I'm not going to practice it. That is true for everybody. I don't like it if I can't find something in what I'm doing that I absolutely enjoy and want to continue to do. I'm not going to do it. One, two, three. With the step. 4. Step again. Up, in, out. Pay attention that the back hand isn't down here, that it's straight. So that as you extend, I talked about this before, as you extend, you're going in both directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Full circle that time. It's fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Medium circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Still a little bit wide. One more time. I know where it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Found it. That is one of the things that I hope you can take away from this class and apply it to everything else. That sense of knowing where it is. What have I got? What am I working with? Whether it's the leg muscle, for me this one up here in the knee, whether it's the particulars for which movement should I do, which movement am I doing, right? Whether it's, did I get it right this time? What did I do? How does it match up with what I think I want to do? How does it match up with what someone else might see? What's it look like from the outside, right? How does it match up? And how did it feel? Am I more comfortable after I practiced than when I started? If you're not more comfortable after practice, you gotta work on that. You should be. Your body should feel more comfortable. You should feel more relaxed, more alert. You should feel that whatever you have done, however, whether it was perfect or not, right? Not everything was perfect today, right? Whether it was perfect or not, it was what you did today. You know what you did. You know what you want to work on. You know what you're trying to work on. And you know how to, step by step, get there. Thank you for being here today. I still have the concerns, so I'm not sure about for tomorrow, but I'm gonna do my best to be here. Thursday and Friday, Wudang Qigong. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it.